Okay, this recording is for adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers with uncommon denominators. So we want to start off with 1 over 8 plus 3 over 7. And here the first thing we need to do is find a common denominator. So I'm going to write 7 and 8 down and find a number that 7 and 8 can divide into. So 56 is divisible by 7 and 8. 7 goes into 56 8 times. 8 goes into 56 7 times. So now I know that 1 over 8 can be multiplied by 7 over 7, which would give me 7 over 56. And then 3 over 7 can be multiplied by 8 over 8. Which would give me 24 over 56. Well, now I can go and add these two fractions together. So 7 plus 24 is 31, and that's all over 56. So here's my answer. Alright, next, subtracting mixed numbers. Again, the first thing you want to do is find a common denominator for 10 and 2. So I like just thinking of a number that 10 and 2 can divide into, or a number that's divisible by 10 and 2. So that number, the smallest number, would be 10. And so 10 divided by 10 equals 1. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So here, the first fraction, I'm going to take 12 and 7 over 10, and I'm going to times, alright, actually I could times it by 1, but that'll just give me 7 over 10 right back. So the next fraction, I'm going to take it and times the numerator and denominator by 5. So 1 over 2 times 5 over 5, like that. And when I'm done, this changes into 2 and 5 over 10. So my new problem is 12 and 7 over 10. Take away 2 and 5 over 10. Now, when I subtract, here's what I get. 7 take away 5, that's 2. Keep the denominator common. 12 minus 2 is 10. And of course you can see here that 2 and 10 can be simplified, so I'm going to divide by 2, and here divide by 2. Alright, so when I'm done, my answer is 10 and 1/5. Alright, next. This is subtracting mixed numbers with regrouping. So I want to show you an example that looks like this. So first we've got to find a common denominator. And so here I'm looking, I need a number that 3 and 15 can divide into. And so that number is 15. So just think about your multiplication facts. What number can 3 and 15 divide into? Or look at your multiplication fact sheets and find a number that 3 and 15 have in common. Those are factors or multiples. Okay, so 3 divides into 15 one time, and 3 divides into 15 5 times. 15 divides into 15 one time. So I know the fraction that has 3 in the denominator, I should multiply it by 5. The fraction that has 15 in the denominator, multiply it by 1, or just leave it like it is. So here, I'm going to take the numerator and denominator and multiply them both by 5. And this particular mixed number I can multiply by 1, but that'll give me the same thing. So no need in doing that. So my new mixed number is going to be 6 and 5/15, which is equivalent to this first one, minus 2 and 7/15. But now one problem here. this number is not large enough for me to subtract 7 from it. So I'm going to have to rename it. So what I'm going to do is borrow 1 whole from 6, so 6 becomes 5. And the 1 whole I'm going to add will be here, and I'm going to call that 15 over 15. I'm going to add that to it. So if I add 5 15ths plus 15 15ths, that gives me 20 15ths all together. So 5 15ths plus 20 15ths. So 5 and 20 over 15 minus 2 and 7 over 15. Now I'm ready to subtract. So 20 take away 7 is 13 over 15, and then 5 take away 2 is 3. So you get 3 and 13 15ths. So that's your lesson on adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers, also with renaming or regrouping. So let me go back to our very first problem. This one, we just had 2 fractions and we were adding them, found a common denominator. We got our answer. Then the next one, we had 2 fractions with different, 2 mixed numbers. We found our common denominator. After we did that, we subtracted. And then we simplified over here. Got 10 and 1/5. Then our next problem, we had to regroup because 7 was not, it's too big to subtract from 5, so we borrowed from 6. Change this into 20 over 15. All right, so that's your lesson.